Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and this is going to be our monthly deluxification series, going over a few board game upgrades, deluxifications, a semi-unboxing, or I guess straight-up unboxing of tiny turbo cars over here. We'll go ahead and dive into all of those things, but as usual, first and off the bat, this particular video series is sponsored by Top Shelf Gamer. I'll have a link down below to their store, as well as the fact that there'll be a little bit of a sale going on for the next, 2 weeks or so. They generally, whenever I do these videos, they run a little sale, so you can save a little money. Additionally, if you do use the link below, understand that I do get a little bit of a commission from that, so it helps support the channel and all that. But with that said, and Top Shelf Gamer, by the way, sleeves, coins, all these things, they have some amazing coins. They have a lot of amazing upgrades, realistic resources, a lot of things from there. They have lots of inserts from what's the name of it? Those folded space inserts, which we'll be talking about today. But let's go ahead and start off the bat with actually that folded space insert. We have a few things today, including a random one that's a little bit out of place, but let's go ahead and dive into it. So we have Feast For Odin over here. Feast For Odin, which I had a chance to play at WSBG. That's not entirely true. I've played it before. I played years ago, not when it first came out, but shortly after it first came out. I generally used to play all of Uwe Rosenberg's games as soon as they came out. But then I kind of stopped, partially because he has too many games, and they're all a lot to take on, and then also because I found myself finding a lot of his designs a little bit samey in terms of the resource conversion engines. Very solid, very incredible, but I didn't need to play all of them. I played Feast For Odin when it came out. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I also played with somebody who was not into the game, which definitely changes how I felt about the game as well. So I had a chance to play this again at WSBG recently, the World Series of Board Gaming, and I really enjoyed it. I played with Board Game Dave, actually. Board Game Dave taught it to us. We played the game, really enjoyed it, and I now have this and the expansion for it as well, although the expansion isn't packed in here, and I don't know if it'll fit with this insert, which is the caveat you should know about. But let's go ahead and show you. Let's put this back in so you can see from the top shot before I take it all out. Let's go ahead and show you this. So, this is your Feast For Odin insert as far as how it looks, basically folded space. We have all these things away in here. We can take out that. We have our various components. Now, if you do know anything about a Feast For Odin, it's that it actually comes with its own component trays that hold a lot of the tokens very decently. But it doesn't hold all the tokens, it just holds the main resource tiles you're using for your polyomino puzzle. Very incredible game, very solid. I also want to get some metal coins to replace these. They have some metal coins that I have my eye on. I just haven't actually gotten them yet, so we'll see from, I want to say, Medeus & Co. They do a bunch of metal coins as well. But yeah, we'll check that out secondly. But first of all, for now, we have these over here. This is all structure that tells you how, and when you assemble this, it tells you what goes where. But we have our coins over here. We have our player pieces over here, which you can take out all of these. Those store nicely, and all leaves it just ready to set up. One of my favorite parts about inserts is how you can go from just setting everything up instead of having to debag, reorganize, restructure. We have our cards over here. We have our whaling boats, as well as our generic extra tokens and dice. And then we have more card trays over here. We have our little extra maps on top of the 2 resource trays that you can then split out, and that is basically what we have as far as the Feast For Odin. Past that, you have your general components and content, which would be just generally in here. These are the included trays. Those are not anything special. I mean, they're nice. They're just included, and that all goes back here. And that's what we have for our Feast For Odin. Again, the whole point of these inserts is to make setup and tear down much quicker. And while folded space is not always my favorite, from a pure design perspective, folded space isn't always my favorite. I find that some solid wooden inserts can really be very, very cool. I will say the nice thing about folded space is how quickly they actually set up. Like in terms of assembling them, they assemble incredibly quickly. You just run a little line of glue across it, fold it up. I mean, I assembled this whole thing in maybe 10 minutes to assemble it, which is not bad, and honestly, you play this game twice, you'll get those 10 minutes back. And so I do like that about folded space compared with some of the wooden inserts. Like, I have some wooden inserts that have been sitting in my house for a long time, and I still haven't bothered assembling them because I know that, it's a lot of work. It might take 10 plays before you get that time back. I still love them. I still do, but it takes that time. But that's basically it. That's what we have over here. Let's go ahead and put this all back again. So putting this back over here, it'll go just right back like so. So you're going to put the 2 card trays over there, your 2 component trays like so. And then these over here, so we'll pop that back down over here, back that down over here. Then some more of these player trays, just directly, I'm just going to stack these all directly inside right away, right off the bat. And then put these over here, follow with the mats on top of those. And that is basically what you have as far as the insert. There's a bit of a gap over here. I think that covers some of the promo stuff. I don't think it fits the main expansion material, but I do believe it's designed to accommodate some of the promo tiles you can get your hands on. So there is that aspect there. And that's what we have for Feast of Odin. Feast For Odin. I always say Feast of Odin. There's 2 games I always mess up on. Well, there's more than 2 games I always mess up on, but there's 2 games in particular that I always mess up on. One is a Feast for Odin, which I always call a Feast of Odin. But then additionally, we have Betrayal at House on the Hill. Or Betrayal at, I still don't know what it's called. Is it Betrayal at the House on the Hill? Betrayal at House on Hill? Betrayal at the House on Hill? Betrayal at House on the Hill. I don't know how many "thes" there are, or which one, or where, or the order. I always get it wrong, is what I'm saying. From there, I have an interesting one, and a little bit of a... Well, I'm going to apologize for showing you this one, and it'll make sense in a second. But basically, let's start with Bonfire. And we have two games that have these pieces. I'm going to show you Bonfire first. So in the case of Bonfire, we have a Bonfire from Stefan Feld, which has this little bag full of these very, very nice tokens. These tokens over here, these are full of just beautiful, just upgraded tokens to replace the bag full of resources you would otherwise have over here. And I'll show you some of these in closer on the camera. But basically, we have these pieces replacing, again, just looking over here, we have these pieces over here just replacing what you have as far as the much better upgraded deluxified resources. We have these little, I don't even know what they're called, little faces on them, replacing those. Let's see if we get the face. You see the little face there? Look at that adorable little face. Just replacing those. We have our shells being replaced by, well, shells. So again, just upgraded nice resources from over there. And then lastly, we have two more. We have two more, or three more. We have even three more. We have three more resources here. We have these little stars. Now, these stars are a little smaller, but again, just in terms of what you're getting over here, look at the detail from the wood versus these nicely, I don't even know what material they are. They don't feel 3D printed. They feel very resiny in a nice way, but I don't actually know what they are. We have our gold pieces, if it's gold. And then we have, lastly, we have our, the green ones over here versus these green ones. And so that's what we have for these resources over here. They're just nice, much better, much nicer, upgraded resources for your Bonfire game. Why am I apologizing to you for showing these? Well, for two reasons. Well, I'm going to link to it down below, but effectively, this is from a company called Holy Tokens that is based out of Russia, which has me in a weird spot as to do I show these or not. Practically speaking, they sent these tokens to me, as well as the ones for Rurik, which I'll show you in a second, months ago. Like before anything started with the whole war and the invasion of Ukraine and all that. They sent it to me a long time ago, and to show them off on the channel in one of these videos. And I was like, well, I don't want to, but also I've been holding on to these for who knows how long, trying to figure out at what point is it okay to do so, because obviously when they sent it, it was a fine, and then the war happened, and then it's not fine because supporting things in Russia, and I'm in this weird spot where I feel like showcasing this is possibly the wrong thing, but also not showcasing it feels like the wrong thing considering they sent it to me to show. Both ways feels kind of weird. So what's my solution about that? To just directly tell you that it feels kind of weird, to talk about the weirdness and let you make your own choice as far as what you want to do about it. That's ultimately where it is. The company is fantastic as far as their token production is insane, very over the top. They have tons of products that are very, very cool, but also supporting Russia, which is a weird balance, because like supporting Russia versus supporting people in Russia, it is a weird balance. I don't have the ethical answer. On my end, I have them bookmarked as a company to look into, and I don't buy anything from them currently. That's how I solve that. I kind of avoid the problem temporarily. So yeah, that's my awkward, let me show you some things here that might or might not be a problem. Hope that makes sense. Anyways, from over here, in Rurik, we have these honey tokens over here. And this is what we have to figure out if it actually fits into your box or how. Like, I actually don't even know if these are going to fit in. So if we take these tokens out and try to put in this improved honey, which is very much improved honey, will it even fit? But let's first of all show you what I mean when I say improved honey. So these are the tokens we have over here. You can see the extra level of detail on those honeycombs, just nicer. The feel is nice as well. Again, it's not 3D printed. I mean, that's a big deal for me. Like, if it just felt 3D printed, I would not be quite so interested in it, but it doesn't feel 3D printed. It feels premium. Very similar to the tokens you actually get from Top Shelf Gamer. Top Shelf Gamer has a lot of realistic resources, but they don't have every game. And for those games that they don't have access to, these very much do serve some of those. Here we have the fish tokens. So again, just solid, nice pieces. They are expensive, I should note that. These realistic resources very much are a premium upgrade with a premium price point, so take that into account before you go ahead and get anything there. Let's go through a few more of these, and then we'll move on to the next thingy. But the wood is the one I'm really worried is not going to fit. Although maybe if I change where the coins go versus the wood, that might solve it. So we have our stone or our ore. This is where, let's pull this out over here. Let's see what we can gather. Here we go. So we got these over here. And again, just nicer pieces. This one's actually interesting because this is one of the ones where I'm not sure how I feel because it's a little shiny. It's a little shiny. I wish it were like a drop matter in terms of, I don't know if matter is the correct term, but I do wish it was a drop less shiny. It feels just a drop too shiny for the material it's trying to emulate. So that's the only one I so far have a ding on. The rest all look great. Let's show you the bearskin ones. The bearskin ones are absolutely fantastic. By the way, Rurik is very much a hidden gem kind of game. Like, it's an absolutely incredible game. These bearskin tokens are insane. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So, let's go ahead and show you these. Let's see what we got here. But yeah, Rurik is very much a hidden gem in terms of just being a game that is very... Do you see those bearskin tokens? Do you see that? Like, look at those little faces. It's just so much nicer. So just the direct level of attention to detail. Will these fit? They're not going to fit. They're not going to fit. That's the only problem with some of this stuff over here. Which is you're trying to make these tokens fit in a place where they will not fit. Can I make this work? Can I make this work? Maybe the fish can go here, because that's not as deep. And the bears can go over here. That might work. That seems to work. Seems to work to get them all in, or at least mostly in. Yeah, so swapping those compartments will work. But, what was I going to say? Rurik's a hidden gem. It's a game that is very well loved, very well liked, but absolutely is not known as much as I would like it to be known. It's just a very, very good game. And over here, these are the ones where, this is another one where I may have to switch the component compartments. So if you see over here, let's pull this out. I may have to put the coins into the compartment there, which I think I'm going to do, because I think I'm going to do it in advance, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a problem otherwise. So if we shift our coins over here, those should mostly fit, or all fit. Ooh, that's definitely tight. It's definitely tight as far as making it all fit, but there we go. Let's try to put them down in here and try to make them fit-ish. They're not going to fit totally, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, looking at these tokens over here, what we got. So, this is what we have as far as these tokens go. So you can see all of these over here, and that is that. That's what we got over there. So, those are the wooden pieces, which we're going to dump into that compartment, and then try to make the coins mostly fit. I think it works better if we actually line them up nicely, which is a little bit irritating, but does work. Let's see if we can grab those there. And this is something that would be solved within 2 seconds of the game as soon as you have coins in play. Let's put these like so. Just try to get them as nicely organized as we can. Okay. And there we go. So, let's put these in, and then get these in. And that mostly worked. I'm not confident about that. I'll have to fiddle out exactly how to make this all fit in later. Although it does seem like it mostly fits. Let's find out. Let's find out. It does go on, so there is that. It does go on nicely. It does clip on, so we got it to fit. That compartment arrangement will work. But that's what we have as far as Rurik. And again, same thing. Holy Grail tokens. I'll have a link down below. Again, my solution personally is I bookmark it and I don't buy. That's what I have right now. I don't know the point of the when and the where and the how. I don't know those answers. It's complicated, and I am not here to judge, I guess. But past that, we're going to go ahead and move to the next one, which is... The next one we have is going to be... What do we have next? Tiny Turbo Cars. Let's do Tiny Turbo Cars before we do our last one after. Tiny Turbo Cars is over here. This is going to be a semi-unboxing from a game from Horrible Guild. Not Horrible Games, Horrible Guild. I have to say not Horrible Games every time because they used to be called Horrible Games, and then they thought that maybe, just maybe, that wasn't the best way to market their company. Especially because they don't make horrible games. They make pretty decent games. They make King's Dilemma, Queen's Dilemma, currently on Kickstarter. They make Tiny Turbo Cars, which is fantastic. They make, what else do they make? They have the Dungeon Fighter. Oh, what did I just do? We have a token is stuck. This was stuck over there. I don't need that. We have this game over here, Tiny Turbo Cars. This is the deluxe edition of Tiny Turbo Cars, which is an excellent game. A lot of fun. I'm curious to see where this stays in my collection. I know I literally just said excellent game, a lot of fun. I'm curious to see where that stays. That is how things go, unfortunately. The practical reality is I play a lot of games, I have a lot of games, and a game being good enough often... A game being good isn't always a guarantee that the game will stick around. Games have to be played, or at least the games I have in my collection, I want them to be played. And so I'm often questioning, okay, great, you are a great game, but will I actually play you? Will I pull you out off the table compared with other games and get you tabled? Because if the answer is yes, then great, you can stick around. And if the answer is you're a really, really good game and I'll have fond thoughts and opinions of playing you, but also not actually pull you off the table, off the shelf, that's a problem. So for me, that's a big deal where I just don't know the answer right now. I can tell you, here's our, looks a little, we got our little pads that will go overlay the board, I guess. But yeah, this is a game that I really strongly enjoyed. It's a racing game of chaos where you're going to use your programmer, your little like joystick puzzle, I'll show you in a second, to basically program how you're moving. But you have like 10 seconds or something like that to do it. I don't remember the exact timing of it, but you have a limited amount of time to actually program your puzzle. And you're trying to figure out how to optimize around that puzzle as you go through it, which makes for a very interesting challenge that you gotta try to figure out. Let me try to get this done over here. Sorry, I'm trying to knock this off. Here we go. I'm trying to hook that there. But yeah, it's a very fun game. I really enjoy playing it. I have not played this version. I played it on TTS. playing it physically should hopefully be an improvement just by the nature of what the game is, because you have these programmers effectively. This is what you got. You got a little joystick programmer. So if we show you this over here, the goal of the game, I assume you take this out, but I'm not going to mess with it too much. He says as he messes with it. I'm pretty sure this comes out, I guess. That definitely popped out over there somewhere. We're not going to focus on that. But over here, this is a little puzzly programmer where you're going to shuffle up your programmer, you're going to mix it around, and then orient based on, you know, I believe it's the middle two rows. So you're trying to structure everything around, and then boom, that pattern is what you're going to be executing with your car. But you all have a limited amount of time to actually do this little puzzle, to fiddle with this and get it done, and then you have to go ahead and start racing along the board, which we'll show you one of these over here. There's a bunch of premium tokens and everything. This is the Kickstarter Deluxe Edition of the game. They have a retail edition of the game. They have a Kickstarter Deluxe Edition of the game. This is the Kickstarter Deluxe. Let's go ahead and show you this over here. Let's see what we can get as far as putting this out. These are the boards you're going to be playing with. So if we grab these over here and we start laying them out, we just have, actually I don't even know how this works. There we go, that comes apart. You're going to be creating a little room of boards where you can then go ahead and grab your cars, ignoring the fact that it's not lined up properly or perfectly. We're going to grab our cars. We got tape over here, okay? There's a lot of cars. There's a lot of cars. You see this we got over here as far as this thing. Let's try to showcase this over here. Pulling off the tape. Can I pull off the tape correctly? I want to get the tape off so it doesn't get in the way next time. But putting it back, give me a second here to just get this off. There we go. Okay, we'll take care of, let's put this on the bag. There we go. But we're going to go ahead and put these down. You'll have your cars. They'll be racing along these little zones, going from zone to zone, trying to navigate based on your thing, trying to not hit the right things, to scoot over other things. It's basically a racing game, but with chaos and with confusion and with card play and all kinds of just things that will make the experience. I mean, here we go. Let's go back to these for a second. I'm sorry for constantly going back and forth here. We have all these over here, just the various characters. You're going to have the asymmetric characters. Some of these tokens are improved upon. So, for example, we have our upgraded deluxified, well, wrong side, upgraded deluxified batteries over here, the wooden pieces. So you have some of that in the Kickstarter edition of the game. We have the more maps, which I haven't even bothered undoing yet. There's a lot of stuff to go through here. I will go through more of that later. But he says as he decides to unbox this one last map. I'm sorry, just one last one. But yeah, this is a racing game. A racing game with all the maps, all the components, all the expansions, all the stuff, deluxified and upgraded. And I'm curious. I'm curious to see what, like I said, I'm curious to see whether it holds up. It was a lot of fun to play, but it also has that chaos aspect. And the chaos aspect means it's a bit gimmicky. And historically speaking, games that are a bit gimmicky don't always last in my collection. They often are fun, but then they just don't get pulled out quite as much. So I am very curious. Ultimately, time will tell. But for right now, I am excited to dive into this one when I finally can. Where do these even go? Where do these go? Does this just lay on top? That seems wrong. That seems wrong. It's probably underneath over here, maybe? I don't know. Nope, that can't be right. These go somewhere. They definitely go somewhere. I just don't know where that somewhere is. I feel like, let's go ahead and put this back in here. Sorry for the trying to make this work over here. Let's just go ahead and put this down on top like so. That way it's nice and evenly distributed. We can even grab our little this over here. So the extra one they got past that. Let's get this a little bit. Let's just rip it open. We can rip this open and pull this out. Sometimes you get these things in bags, which I don't really know how they get into bags. Like, they just don't fit in. But either way, let's go ahead and do that. And that is Tiny Turbo Cars from Horrible Games. Horrible Guild. Jeez, Horrible Guild. I can't believe I did that. I cannot believe I did that. But that's what we have for that, which brings us to one more. We have one more for today, and the one more is a bit of an interesting one. It is not a board game. But it's not a board game, but it was sent to me by again, Horrible Guild. So they have this over here. They have Saturnalia. They in some way are interacting with this company over here, Saturnalia. This is a, they have, basically this game came out, Saturnalia. It's a roguelike horror adventure game. Currently, if you're watching this video in the first like 2 or 3 hours that this video goes up, you can even get the game for free. The timing of that is, I believe, coincidental. I don't really know. But here we go. This is the game. It's a horror-themed game. They sent me a mask. Why did they send me a mask? I don't know, because why wouldn't you send someone a mask? But yeah, this is a roguelike adventure game that is currently on Steam at the moment. What else do we have in here? I don't even know what we have in here. We're going to look through this in a second. It's currently available on Steam. It's currently available on Epic Games. But if you get this right now, if you, in the first 2 hours, head on over to Epic Games, you can go ahead and get this game for free. It's the first like 2 or 3 hours of this video. It's not going to be live for long. That's just a timing issue, so it is what it is. And I apologize for this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to put my glasses back on in a second. But this is apparently part of the game or something. It's not part of the game, but it's like, why did I do this? I can't see anything. That's the only problem. I can't see anything. This is not better. Can I do this like this? I can only partially see. I don't I don't know. I'm going to take this off. This is not... If it weren't for the glasses thing, I'd actually keep it on for the rest of the video. I wouldn't mind, but the glasses thing does make it very hard to actually deal with sight and whatnot. Like, sight's a big component of, well, everything, and could not see a thing with this on because I couldn't wear my glasses. But this is a game. Again, what is it again? It's a roguelike game. It's going to be it's degree of progression as you constantly go through the game. You die, you reset, or you lose and reset. I don't know if you die or lose any of those things. We have Saturnalia's Mask, Certificate of Craft Production. These masks, based on the design of the creature in Saturnalia, were handcrafted by Sardinia master Gazialo Vial. They are numbered and signed in 250 pieces and made of ethically sourced leather obtained from animals raised for food in a sustainable Italian farm. This makes me feel this mask is cooler than I'm giving credit for. This makes me feel like the mask is cooler than I'm giving it credit for sure, because the art of Saturnalia, I don't know much about the game, I haven't played it. It's roguelite, which I do like. I like, what's it called? Slay the Spire, which is my favorite roguelite game, but there's a whole bunch in the genre. This is very horror-themed. You're going to be completing puzzles, solving mysteries. I haven't actually played it, like I said, available on Epic Games for the next 2 or 3 hours. I should probably download it myself while it's still free, because if I ever do decide to dive into this one. But I don't know much about it past that. I just don't know much about it. We have this thing over here, which is a... Please find a Windows download code. Oh, I have a Windows download code, so I don't need to get this in the next 2 hours, apparently. It has a leaflet to get you started in the game, and it has, just, you know, empty CD case so that we can mimic the feeling of a CDs, but without actually having the CDs. And then we have this, which is a record. Did I just get a record? What in the world am I going to do with a record? I mean, this is very cool, make no mistake, but am I gonna... I don't know what to do with a record. This is like a very artsy... You know what I'm gonna do with this? You know what I'm gonna do with this? I think we're gonna give this away, because I do not appreciate this enough. I absolutely do not. This is gonna be a giveaway now. Why? Because I don't appreciate it enough, that's why. But this is going to be a giveaway. If you type down below, speaking of which, by the way, there's another giveaway. In fact, I might edit the front of this video. But speaking of which, the giveaway for this one is going to be, let's put down below. If you type in... I don't know. What to type in for this one? Mask. If you include the word mask in this, you'll be eligible for randomly drawing a giveaway winner for this particular, for the mask, for the whole package over here. It's gonna be, I'm not gonna appreciate this enough over here. So if you do the giveaway, if we do the thingy-majiggy, just do the giveaway ward mask is what you're looking for, and you'll get this entire package sent to you, and you could enjoy that and do that as you want. For domestic shipping, I'll cover it. International shipping, I'll contribute like $15 towards the cost or something, or you could just pass on it entirely. Separately from that, speaking of which, this is a good time to do our other giveaway, because there is one more giveaway from One Sharp Joe. Let's go ahead and grab... Oh my gosh, it's going to be a pain to get this out over here. Can I grab it there? No, we're just going to deal with it. So, One Sharp Joe, who has frequently done giveaways for this thing, he's doing a giveaway as well, in honor of the holiday season and whatnot. And he has an Etsy store, so I'll link to that as well. But One Sharp Joe is doing a giveaway for his inserts, which are these... not inserts. Is storage solutions. Give me a second here. So... I've showcased these before. These are One Sharp Joe's Marvel Champions, a storage case over here. We got this. We got all the stuff in here, all the underneath the rule books. You can get all the components. I have it divided into 2 different boxes, plenty of dividers, plenty of stuff. I have a ton of Marvel Champions I need to go through the process of getting organized and sorted and put away. He also has Dominion organizers and Arkham Horror, the card game organizers, and I believe he's working on Marvel United organizers. But he's basically doing a giveaway of $300 to his Etsy store. Okay, that's what he's doing. To that end, in order to be eligible for that, we'll just put Joe again. Joe has to be the word to be eligible for that giveaway. Put the word Joe in the comment. I'm going to put the word Joe in the comments. I'm going to leave a link to his Etsy store down below. If you appreciate his stuff, check it out. He does do a lot of giveaways on this channel. This is like his 3rd or 4th giveaway on the channel. It's gonna be for $300 worth of stuff from his store. So his stuff's great. I highly recommend his stuff. It's just good stuff, and it looks cool too. Look at side of my box. I got the city over there. So it's good stuff, good things that I highly enjoy, appreciate, and recommend. But that's what we have for this particular Deluxified Games conversation. We have a few Deluxified tokens, components that I feel a little awkward about. We have Feast for Odin, a folded space Feast for Odin insert. We have a few giveaways. We have tiny turbo cars, and we have Saturnalia, which is a video game that apparently made its way into this conversation. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this a day. Appreciate all of you being here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.